is on ESPN Radio. We are live. We are on the ESPN app. We're on ESPN2. We're on ESPNU. I'm Aaron Goldhammer. He is Emmett Golden. We are in Cleveland. We're in for Evan Canty and Michelle. We are presented by Progressive Insurance. See from where we sit, Cavs country. We're still, waiting for Jared Allen to get a rebound. He gave Mitchell Robinson about 8 offensive boards for Christmas. It was very generous.
Yeah.
Other than that, Edo, how was your holiday?
It was good. It was short. It was short. Doing this show has been a blessing, a great opportunity, obviously, but I don't get to hang out as late as I used to on Christmas. We were the first family to leave my aunt's house last night because brother had to get up and go to work.
That's sort of the nature of doing Hammer and Emmett.
Yeah.
The week of Christmas, Emmett, in our house, it was quiet, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Usually is in a Jewish house on Christmas Day.
Mm-hmm.
Watched a lot of games. We sort of planned our year a little bit. We did some cooking. We ate some chili.
Year.
Yeah,
wow. Okay.
Kind of looked at a big calendar and thought a little bit about some of the things we want to do in 2026. We made some New Year's resolutions, and then I watched last night as my Denver Broncos and Denver Nuggets both came away with big wins. And I guess, Emmett, that's where it makes sense for us to start. There was so much to watch yesterday between the NFL games, the 3 NFL games, the 5 NBA games, all on the ESPN family of networks. And there were a lot of winners. I don't know the biggest winner of Christmas. 888 say ESPN, 888-729-3776. E, who do you think won the day in sports to you?
Yeah, I think overall it was the NBA. The NBA, they had more star power than the NFL. And that might sound crazy because usually the biggest stars in our country are, NFL players.
Yeah, at least from a rating standpoint, Sure.
Exactly. But you had Cavs, Knicks, great game. Obviously in Cleveland we're disappointed the Cavaliers lost, but that was a really good game that came all the way down to the wire. You had the Spurs yet again beat the Thunder. They're like the only team that can beat the Thunder.
And all they do is beat the Thunder.
That's right. And the Thunder is like, why can't we conquer the Spurs? Obviously, Warriors, Lakers, you can never go wrong with that. And then Joker had an amazing, amazing game. So I thought the NBA overall won today.
Emmett, I thought Denver, Colorado, where I grew up, won the day. I thought Jokic's performance was amazing, and that was a tremendous game between the Nuggets and the Timberwolves. I just saw the highlights of the end as I was on my way in this morning because, again, I'm probably most people who are awake right now, if you're watching us live or you're listening to us live, you were probably not awake at the end of that game.
Right.
Emmett, I did stay up, though, to watch Bo Nix take his team down the field on the road, and I don't care who the quarterback is. And, listen, that was no Patrick Mahomes for Kansas City last night. But beating the Chiefs in that stadium is always hard. And I thought the Kansas City showed heart of a champion all the way across. I thought if that's Travis Kelce's last game as a Chief at Arrowhead, it was an amazing send-off for a Hall of Fame player. But I thought that in the end, Bo Nix led his team on a game-winning touchdown drive that will live in Denver history. And if they end up being the number 1 seed and winning this division for the first time in a long time, I think people are going to look back at all of those long drives, but in particular the fact that they finished that last one off with a touchdown. I thought the biggest winner on Christmas was my hometown. I think they are happy and excited about a bunch of different things in sports in Denver.
Yeah, you triggered me, though, when you talked about, the Broncos and this being a great drive. Man, get out of here. I don't want to hear about a drive in the Denver Broncos.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, stop it.
Sorry.
All right, I'm from Cleveland.
You associated that. I would never have connected
You're like,
those
it's one of the greatest
together.
drives ever. I'm like, oh, really? I can tend to think of another one that ripped my heart out when I was 8 years old.
Well, I mean, it wasn't 98 yards down the field, but 14 plays, 65 yards for the Broncos to go down and get the TD and not settle for a field goal. And Emmett, look, we were sort of making, I don't want to say making fun of it. We were talking about the fact that nobody knew who Chris Oladokun was yesterday.
Right.
I got to give a round of applause for
good job, good effort.
Emmett, just for the fight. Not that he put up an amazing stat line.
Yeah.
But he was getting outside the pocket. He was trying to make throws. I mean, he was completely overmatched. But I thought Kansas City showed last night, like Rudy Tomjanovich once said about the Houston Rockets, never underestimate the heart of a champion. I thought they showed heart of a champion.
Yeah, I mean, their culture is so good that, even on a bad year, you're going to get their best. You're going to have to beat them, basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The Chiefs
Anybody
who
thought
themselves.
that they would lie down and let Denver win that game by 100 points, you clearly had never seen an Andy Reid team play before.
Right.
And I thought it was impressive for Denver to go in there and to be able to win. Who do you think won Christmas, or who won Christmas in your house? 888 say ESPN. 888-729-3776 is the number if you want to jump in with us. Lines are open on this day after Christmas. Emmett, I imagine some people going back to work today.
Yeah.
The world is reopening today. I always feel like this is a day where I want to go grab lunch somewhere out just because, yesterday nothing's open, so you're sort of glad to be back out into the world.
I want to get fast food today.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I want fast food today because every place was closed. Like yesterday after we did the show, I was driving home. It was a ghost town.
Yeah.
On the streets. And, maybe coming into work early in the morning, not a lot of cars on the road. But when you're driving home at about 11 o'clock, you think there would be cars on the street. There was nobody on the streets yesterday.
Yeah, I thought Netflix was a winner yesterday.
Yeah.
I thought they did a good job producing games when they don't do it all year. All of a sudden they sort of get thrown into this. I really liked their score bug at the bottom of the screen. It was super clean and easy to read. I thought they made a couple of producing things that, as a sports media nerd, drove me crazy.
Yes.
Come on. We're in the middle of a game, guys. God bless Barry Sanders, okay? If Barry Sanders is watching right now, Barry Sanders, I love you.
Right.
It's the middle of the game. I don't need you interviewing Barry Sanders in the middle of a game. Those are two things that shouldn't really be going on at the same time. But I thought they did a nice job of, putting the day together with the two early games. I watched the Cowboys, and I kind of think to myself, what might have been if only they could tackle a running back all year, that they could have been a playoff team this year, or that next year they could be set up to really go on a run. But it still felt to me like defensively they were scrambling since the Parsons trade. But I think the way their quarterback played and their receivers played this year, Dak Prescott was a playoff-worthy QB.
Yeah.
It's just the rest of his team let him down all season. I think we saw some of that manifest itself despite the fact that they won yesterday against the Commanders.
And one of the reasons I'm not overly concerned about them heading into next year, I won't guarantee that they'll make the playoffs next season, but they have an offense that's good enough to be a playoff team. And if you only have to fix one side of the ball, and I wouldn't even say they got to fix everything on the defensive side, just a few areas, that they'll be fine. They'll be all right. This is a year, obviously, they made some changes defensively, first year for their head coach. Okay, these are reasonable things to happen for a team where they are. Now, next year, though, I think they'll have a better season, and I expect them to be at least challenging for the playoffs.
You could be a part of Unsportsmanlike Nation. Dr. Pepper call-in line is open, guys. 888 say ESPN. Boy, I bet somebody got a big case of Dr. Pepper for Christmas yesterday and loved it. 888-729-3776. ESPN Nation is presented by Dr. Pepper. It is not college football season without the delicious taste of an ice cold
Dr. Pepper.
College football, it is a pepper thing. You brought them up yesterday. Emmett, I'm sorry. I think the San Antonio Spurs need to be taken seriously. Are they? Would you call them? I love using this word. I don't know. Are they? Are they bona fide?
Bona fide?
Bona fide.
Sure.
I think the Spurs, if you're a Spurs fan, if Wemby's out there up early getting his work in watching.
You're bona fide.
Bona fide. To beat them once can be fluky. To beat them twice, one of them was in the NBA Cup, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Emmett, to beat them 3 times. And now all of a sudden, I don't know, a week ago everybody was doing these topics. I think Oklahoma City could win 82 of the 82 games. I'm putting them in the conversation greatest team ever. Look, are they the favorites to win the title? Yes. None of that has changed.
Right.
But Emmett, all of a sudden, they're 6-4 in their last 10. They've lost a couple games in a row, and in a week it felt like we went from them being on this incredible historic plane to now, I hate to tell you, but they're only a couple of games ahead of San Antonio in these things called the standings.
Yeah, but I'm actually not that concerned because I don't think they play each other again anytime soon. So I think the Thunder will rip off a bunch of more wins, and next time they run into the Spurs, probably lose again.
I think they're going to play each other maybe in like
Western
May.
Conference Finals.
Yeah. I think those right now are the 2 best teams in the NBA. And
I would agree.
Look, I know that it might be a little bit premature for San Antonio, but didn't we see this? I think we saw it, Emmett, 2 years ago with Oklahoma City being a lot better than people thought in the regular season. Remember the year that Sam Presti said we haven't finished our breakfast quite yet? And as it turned out, they were kind of eating like lunch or maybe late afternoon snack.
Yes.
Last year we saw it with Houston. Houston, they might have lost in the first round. Houston had a great regular season.
Right.
They were the 2 seed, and the story was they're coming on. If only they add a piece, they go and get Durant. Okay, now I think everybody agrees. I don't know. They're 18-10. They're not crushing it right now, but I think they'll be there in the end. Yeah, I think that's San Antonio this year. So I don't know that I think they could win the title. Can they win the title, do you think?
I mean, it's a lot to ask. You know my rule.
Yeah.
You got to get there and lose to know what it takes to get there and win. So I'd be shocked if they just ripped off a championship, this season.
Yeah.
But I can
too.
see.
Me too.
I can see a world where they maybe lose to the Thunder. Right now it seems like they got their number, but series is much different.
Yeah, and Emmett, I just want everybody, and I think they did yesterday because they played on national TV, and this was sort of the focal point game, especially the highlight game of the NBA. Emmett, that team is a lot more than the 7'5" alien guy from France. I mean, he's amazing. But Stephon Castle is amazing.
Awesome.
Dylan Harper is amazing.
God.
The way they fight and play together as a young team is really incredible to watch. This is kind of, to me, like what's going on with the Patriots right now. Like those 2 teams dominated for 20 years, basically. From about the year 2000 to about the year 2020, the Spurs were the best team in the NBA.
Yeah,
and the Patriots were the best team in the NFL.
About 5 years off, and then boom, they're kind of right back, right back with
Same as it ever was.
Yeah, San Antonio, I think you just see their length. And I think that's why the Thunder having it, because usually the Thunder
are bigger and longer than everybody else.
And now they're like, hold on, we got somebody that can match up with us. Like, how do we handle it? We're not prepared to beat us.
These teams are all arms.
Yes. Yes, they are. You do like this, and it just stretches from sea to shining sea.
It's incredible to watch. 888-SAY-ESPN is our Dr. Pepper call-in line number on who won Christmas. But, Emmett, one guy who lost Christmas. Social media is trying to fire an NFL head coach after yesterday. We will discuss whether that is fair or unfair next as we get it started. It's the day after Christmas. I'm Aaron Goldhammer. He's Emmett Golden on Sportsmanlike. He's on ESPN Radio. You can watch on ESPN2 and on ESPNU.
The College Football Playoff Quarterfinals.